And right now I'd like to welcome Rima Nashashibi, and she is the founder and president of Global Hope 365. And she is going to be speaking at the Concerned Citizens meeting tomorrow night. That's Tuesday, March 3rd at 7 p.m. at Clubhouse 1. Welcome.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Pleasure to have you on today. And what your topic is going to be about is shining a light on human sex trafficking, human trafficking in general, and child marriage. And that's the part that we don't hear about a lot. So welcome. And first, a bit of your background and Global Hope 365. What's that about?
Sure. I started Global Hope 365 back in 2017, and our inaugural event was January 9 of 2019. And the whole mission of Global Hope is to end harmful practices against women and girls in the U.S., like child marriage and human trafficking. And you think that child marriage, we don't have that here in the U.S., but unfortunately it is legal in 48 states. Yes. I didn't think it was, but I was shocked to see or to hear that it's legal in 48 states.
Yeah.
The only two states that do not allow it and pass legislation that said no child marriage under 18, no exceptions, are Delaware and New Jersey. And that only happened in May and June of 2018.
Wow.
Yes.
But here in California, I was very surprised. You know, if you first said, you know, child marriage, and, you know, I love the South, no offense to people from the South, but you would think, okay, some of Arkansas and places like that, maybe. But here in California, you were telling me there's not even an age limit. It's not like it's 16 and up.
Yes,
it could be
no,
younger.
there isn't.
Yeah.
You know, the laws are different from state to state. We don't have an age limit.
Yeah.
All what you need is parental consent and judge's approval. So I'm going to paint the worst scenario. So if your parents want you to get married at 5 and they got a judge to approve that, you will get married at 5. So we need to change that law because we don't have a minimum age in California. Yeah. But not only do we need to change it here, we need to change it in other states. Because UNICEF says child marriage is a human rights abuse. The Department of State issued a report in 2016 that said human rights abuse is a fundamental human rights abuse in other countries. And I'm saying, what about our country? What about our kids?
Yeah.
So if it's abuse in other countries, it's abuse in the U.S. And we need to stop that.
Here in California, is it that common? I mean, do you know of cases? I mean, not necessarily a 5-year-old, but do you know of cases that
I'm glad you asked that question, Ken, because California is one of the states, one of 23 states that do not keep statistics on child marriages.
Oh, wow.
Yes. Between 2000 and 2010, there were approximately 248,000 minors getting married in the U.S., and 23 states do not keep statistics on that. So that's what we're trying to change. One of my board of directors, Dr. Melissa Withers, who's a professor at USC, has hired 2 people in order to try to find how many minors were married in California. But the Pew Research Center, and everybody knows them, did research, and it's about marriages between the ages of 15 and 17. The national average is 4.6. In California, they found out it's 5.5.
Wow. Yeah. And so, again, in this state, the way this state is, let's face it, you would think it would be the leader in this as far as preventing and keeping statistics. And it's just the opposite. That's what I find very surprising.
Yeah, and Senator Jerry Hill from Northern California thought it was a no-brainer for him to introduce a legislation, SB 237, that said no child marriage under 18, no exception. Unfortunately, that bill was watered down so bad that it didn't pass the way it was intended.
Yeah. Do you know why? Do you have a take on why?
Well, oppositions came from interesting sources, ACLU and Planned Parenthood. And we're talking with, we're having a dialogue with Planned Parenthood.
Yeah.
And next we'll be having dialogue with ACLU to make sure that we're all on the same page. And I think we will be with Planned Parenthood.
Yeah, very interesting. ACLU especially.
I know.
You never know. So your talk is coming up again. I want to remind people it's tomorrow night. That means Tuesday, March 3rd, 7 p.m. Clubhouse 1. and you can get there at 6:30 for a meet and greet if you'd like. And one of the things you were telling me, you were talking out in the hallway, that you would like to see, just in general, possibly in our schools, maybe middle school and on up, talking about sex trafficking in general. You'd like to see it maybe part of the, they do the sex education, for lack of a better word, program. And maybe that being a part of it as well, right?
Yeah, see, human trafficking is about fraud, force, and coercion, and somebody making money out of you. The scary part and the concerning part is that right now they're targeting our middle and high schools. They're going as far as middle schools. The victims of human trafficking or sex trafficking become the perpetrators.
Right.
Because if they want to get out of this business, because what happens is that they take photos of them in compromising situations, basically. And then they say, no, you can't, because if you want to get out of it, we're going to show this to your parents.
Right.
Or they threaten their family members. So what we're trying to do is, Global Hope 365 is all about preventing future victims from happening, either child marriage or human trafficking. So we would like to roll out human trafficking awareness courses in all schools in Orange County, just like San Diego did. The District Attorney Summer Stefan there set out a program, human trafficking awareness program, in all public schools in San Diego, because they want to make sure our kids know the red flags that they need to be aware of if somebody approaches them. One victim that I heard about, a friend of hers in school said, my dad will take you home. My dad and I will take you home. She said, let me call my parents. She said, no, by the time we take you home, by the time you call them, you'll be home. She was gone. She was raped and became a victim of human trafficking. The dad, in a sense, was lucky because he was extremely rich. He hired private investigators. They found her after 6 months. It's as simple as, I was talking to a deputy attorney general who worked with foster youth. And the other example she gave me is a friend in school saw her friend having an iWatch and an iPhone. And the traffickers groomed them what to say in order to recruit new victims. And she said, oh my, you have an iWatch and iPhone. I would like to have one. How come you have one? Well, I'm working. What are you working as? A runner. A runner for who? A businessman. Well, I want one. No, you have to go through an interview. Well, please get me an interview. In the interview, she was raped and then became a victim of human trafficking. I was a keynote speaker at the International Association of Insurance Professionals. And then one of the officers came to me after the speech and she said her niece was trafficked. The mom is a lawyer, the father is a physician. She was studying in Georgia, and they came at her with the classic, you're so pretty, we're gonna make you a model.
Right, yeah.
And then you know what happens in the interview. They get raped and they put into sex trafficking.
From what you'd like to do and get the programs in the school, it's not really any different in some respect to the anti-drug programs and those sort of things.
Yes, absolutely.
Something we've talked about in schools a lot, and I can see implementing this within some of the education they already get is not a big stretch, so it's surprising that it's not there.
Yeah, and UBS Foundation basically supplied the grant for San Diego.
And what's UBS?
Sorry?
What's UBS?
It's a financial institution.
Oh, UBS. Okay, sure. I thought it was some other big organization.
They gave the grant. They donated the grant to roll it out in San Diego. So we're hoping some of our Orange County corporations will donate the grant money in order to roll out this, this program at schools here. Right.
Very good. Well, if you'd like to find out more about this, Rima's going to be speaking again tomorrow night, Concerned Citizens, Clubhouse 1. You can get there at 6:30. And very interesting topic.
Thank you.
Yeah, and
Thank you for having me.
I think it's something that needs to be put out there.
Absolutely.
Because it's surprising. Thank you very much.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Nice to meet you, and we'll be right back.
Thank you.